Welcome to another Kings of War 3rd Edition Battle Report. Goblins versus Abyssals. 2,000 points. The scenario is kill. A few of you know I just started playing Abyssals, and every game that I've lost with them comes down to one thing. It's not being able to take objectives. I think that I have very expensive units, and if I don't get out there and just kill stuff and kill and kill and kill, then I'm going to lose the game. And I don't know what to do about it, I guess, except to get rid of some of the bigger stuff and take more small units to be able to seize objectives and those kinds of things. I've tried gargoyles. As soon as somebody even breathes hard on a gargoyle unit, they die. And it's just hard sometimes, depending on the terrain, to keep them hidden the whole time. But I'm going to keep trying to play the Abyssals, try to get better with them. Right now I'm playing with the models that I own, but I am pondering about buying some more models to fill out the ranks. So anyway, wish me luck in my quest to master the Abyssal race. Just want to thank Polly for a game yesterday. Okay, I don't know exactly what's in Polly's list, but this is pretty close of an approximation. There were 3 hordes of trolls. Each of them had some item. I don't remember exactly what each of them was. 2 regiments of fleabag riders, 2 hordes of rabble. One of them did have the warbow of Kaba. 2 regiments of rabble, 3 catapults, wing it, 2 bangits, and 2 wizards. One of those had the conjuring staff. And if I forgot anything, I apologize. So the hated goblins got the first turn. And you could see that the cowardly Abyssals hid all up in the corner because we're playing kill. And there's no reason to be sitting out there trying to fight fair fights when you're playing kill. So Polly moved very quickly up on the right flank with his fleabag riders. Both hordes of trolls ran forward. I guess that's one of the wizards with them. The horde on the right and the other regiment of fleabag riders turned. The horde in the middle just sits still, and the trolls and both regiments over on the left hand side. He did sneak up 2 wizards there behind the wall. I'm pretty sure those are both wizards behind the wall. And between all the shooting, I had taken 3 points to the tortured souls and 2 points to my imps. But like I said, I hid the bulk of my army. And the thing here is that I had taken Veil of Shadows on my wizard, but I didn't cast it but one time throughout the entire game, which was just crap. But last game, though, I think I got it off every turn, so I guess maybe that's just to make up for it. But again, just trying to figure out how to get to him and kill his units. So I'm hiding behind those woods like a girl, but on the other hand, I didn't see any reason to get out there and get chomped on without any way to have a reprisal. So right, this is the picture of my first move. I tried to blitz down the flank. My whole goal in life here is to get down on the left flank of his army and then try to roll it up. The Bale and an aspiring champion with wings have moved forward, trying to getting some angles there. I went ahead and moved the tortured souls out and made them the sacrificial lambs because I'd rather them shoot those than some of the other stuff that's in the list. So that's what I did with them. I tried to hide the gargoyles back there. The warlock is up there trying to cast Veil of Shadows and of course failing. So that's what was going on. But like I said, at the end I was going to try to force this left flank really hard. But I realized at some point I was going to have to fight in the middle since I had 2 hordes of trolls there bearing down on me rather quickly. So you can see the general advance going there on the right hand side. The fleabag riders are now within charge range of my guys. The trolls are moving forward as fast as they can. The other fleabag riders, I think, are moving over to try to stop my attack on the left flank. They're so quick. They should be able to get over there very easily. Everything else just kind of angled. The trolls even angled down there and aimed at my army. The only thing I lost this turn was the tortured souls, which I was kind of shocked about. I mean, I really thought that I would lose more to the shooting and magic phases, but he really dumped on them with a lot of wounds to make sure they were dead because they are a significant threat to pretty much everything with their ability to fly. Sorry for the badly cropped picture. In the very bottom down there, Bale and the aspiring champion moved in close to within an inch of each unit just to try to get a nice roll up going there. The lower abyssals, I'm sorry, and the Moloch started moving down the left-hand side of the table as fast as I could. I ended up turning over the other Moloch unit toward the middle of the table because everything was starting to catch up to me over there, and I needed to form some sort of battle line. The gargoyles just basically stayed and hid. The warlock tried to throw shadows again, or I'm sorry, veil of shadows again, and failed again. So that was the best I was going to be able to do. I mean, the thing is with shooting, I mean, I actually have some shooting with the dice for lightning bolt, like 12 dice of lightning bolt and five shots from the warlock, but I just can't afford to stop long enough to shoot, because if I do, I'm just going to get myself blown up by his shooting. Alright, so on the left hand side, the regiment of rabble went ahead and charged my lower abyssal horde, and doing 2 wounds to him. The down at the very bottom, they basically the regiment and the trolls turned toward Bale. I'd let my aspiring champion get too close, and then the fleabag riders went ahead and charged into him, wavering him, doing 4 wounds, which is probably about average. That was okay. In the very middle, my abyssal guard took 6 wounds from shooting and magic. That was an owie. The trolls charged into my imp regiment and only did 3 wounds, which that's one of the reasons I don't like trolls, is hitting on 4 thing. They're really powerful, but they don't hit very well compared to other things. And you could fix that by buying them appropriate items, but that's what I always tell Polly, is that I'd rather have 2 good hordes of trolls than 3 hordes of trolls, because I want those trolls to actually to be able to kill something as soon as they touch it. I want it to die, and so that's why I say I'd rather have 2 good ones than 3 total. So this is the turn of Abyssal Retribution, as I like to call it, and the over on the left hand side, the lower abyssals went ahead and killed off that rabble regiment, and I did not overrun because I didn't want to accidentally overrun too far and be flank charged by the trolls or by the other rabble regiment. The gargoyles finally moved out from their spot behind the woods to start causing maybe some mayhem. In the middle, I finally got Veil of Shadows off and regenerated all 3 wounds back from my Abyssal Guard. Because the trolls failed to kill the imps, I was able to charge the other Abyssal Guard regiment in there along with the imps, and together they wavered that troll unit. I rolled boxcars, so it wasn't like it was skillful or anything. So I just got really lucky there. At the very bottom, I couldn't make up my mind what to do with Bale, and I finally just decided to try to rescue the Abyssal Champion and see what I could do down there. I did 8 wounds to that unit, but I don't know if I wavered them. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did waver them, but I mean, I still didn't break all the way through them in one go, which is really what I wanted to do. All right, so this is the end of Polly's 5. I totally forgot to take pictures of either of our turn 4s, so I apologize. But try to see what's going here. I moved down and let the other Goblin Rabble Regiment charge my lower Abyssals in the flank, figuring that they really weren't going to do much, and that would allow me to countercharge with my Molochs. My aspiring champion, I think he killed something there, or no, he lightning bolted. He backed up out of the melee, lightning bolted the wavered flea bags, and so that's how they ended there. As you can see, he charged his rabble horde into Bale at the very bottom down here. Up in the middle, he managed to do some wounds to the other Moloch horde. The first one of the troll units was destroyed because I could get a flank charge with my little imp regiment there, because after he was wavered, I was able to have a flank charge, and I killed that. So then the second troll horde came in and did 5 wounds to my Abyssal Guard, and I mean, I really thought I was going to take a lot more from that. But anyway, so during my turn 5, I charged my aspiring champion into his Bang It and didn't even do anything. I just did 1 wound to him. The In the ensuing fight between Bale and the Rabble Horde, Bale was up to 7 wounds and the Rabble Horde was up to 6 wounds. In the very middle, the Molochs had got pounded by shooting, and now they were up to 5 wounds. At the very top, what I did was I moved the swarm, the imps, past there, and that opened a flank up for a charge from my other unit of Abyssal Guard. And between both units of Abyssal Guard, they one-shotted that unit of trolls. So I was in good shape up there. You can see there, I put the arrow up there so you can see that they're pointed to the top. His flea bags didn't want any part of dealing with those Abyssal Guard, and I mean they're a pretty dang good unit. Plus they had a mage in support for Bane Chat and stuff. During his turn, he managed to go ahead and kill my imps with his Wing It, and that's the end of turn 5 for Polly. So this is the final position on the battlefield. Some of these melees we didn't roll out because it really made no difference in the game. So in the lower left-hand corner there, I managed to waver the Bang It, and pretty sure if we'd had rolled the melee out, it would have been dead. This was actually turn 7, the very end of the game. So the Molochs had went ahead and charged into that Rabble Horde, not because I thought I could bust them by any stitch because I was hindered, but because I was way safer fighting somebody than I was getting shot. So that's the reason why they went in there. Regeneration was good to me. Both of my Abyssal Guard hordes were back up to almost maximum, and even though it's toward the end of the game, the Bale did not break or destroy that unit of Rabble, but he was in pretty good shape because he had already regenerated back to only 2 wounds, and that was a key thing. So, and since we were playing kill, just the fact that I had 3 or 4 big, actually most of my expensive units were alive on the table. I did lose my Warlock to a very good rock lobber shot with double 6s and then 5 wounds or something obscene like that, plus some lightning bolts, plus some grenades from the Wing It. So like I said, if you just take a look at the table and you can see how many expensive units I had left, the counting up points was almost irrelevant at that stage. So at the end of every game, I like to do an after-action report on what my forces did and what worked and what didn't work. This game I was incredibly frustrated with getting shot, but in retrospect I probably didn't take as much damage as I thought I was taking, I guess, because I only lost a couple of units to shooting altogether, and those would have been the Imps and both units of Imps and the Tortured Souls. The Tortured Souls were kind of a threat because of their fly. I think if I would really now, if I could figure out how to get the points, I would get rid of the unit of Gargoyles for another unit of Tortured Souls. I know Gargoyles have uses, but they're so fragile. I mean, you breathe hard on a unit of Gargoyles and it runs. So, like them, but I don't like how fragile they are. In my army, pretty much everything performed again. I really liked it. I can't say that still I got to the point where I don't really know if I want to change anything for a while until I run into something that I just can't handle. Because I mean, really, if you can handle some of these quasi-shooting goblin lists, you're not too bad a shape as far as the world of Kings of War. The Bale was much better than the guy I took yesterday. It's not even close. Bale is hands down one of the better characters. I mean, he's not super omnipotent powerful, but he's such a nice support character, and the fact that he is flying and all the other stuff and all of his special abilities, very excellent special character. The Abyssal Guards I had just did an amazing job. They killed both troll hordes by themselves, and at the end of the game they only had 1 wound on themselves, so that was amazing. The Molochs really didn't do anything except be point sinks, and when you're playing kill, having those 600 or 700 points of stuff to not die, that goes a long way to winning a scenario like that. So that was a good thing. I really like my combination of characters with Bale and then the Aspiring Champion and the Warlock. And the Veil of Shadows was really a miss this time. And last game it was so invaluable. Even though I lost the last game, I mean I didn't lose anything from shooting because anything that was under the Veil of Shadows really just didn't attract any fire because especially the catapults, they needed 6 to hit them. So really liked that combo. Just wish it was just a touch more reliable. In other words, I wish I rolled dice better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The polished list, I really like that he put those Fleabag Riders in there. I mean, that is like a central thing of all my armies is to have those. I mean, even if you don't use them for anything, they make great chaff. You can send them on the end around the world, as I call it, because they're so quick. And you have to respond to them because of their speed. And like I said, I really like Fleabag Riders in a Goblin army. I mean, I would give up some shooting to have more Fleabag Riders. I usually run a unit of Sniffs and just a regular unit, and the Sniffs are really my objective holder because they'll sit in the objective and just sit there and shoot. I mean, they actually can do something when they're just standing around, and they're still quick. So those are excellent units. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Trolls to me are really a hit and miss unit. I like them. But I really think that you have to enhance the Trolls, I mean, if you got the Goblins, you want to have the Fury item, which I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, with a Goblin King nearby. That always helps them, and then especially if they're grinding. And then the other thing, I like a Brew of Sharpness on one to hit on 3s, and that way they pretty much evaporate whatever they hit. They become as good as Molochs, which is kind of funny if you ask me. But I mean, Blood of the Old Kings on. I mean, there's a couple of decent items, and I've even just put heal items on them, like the Sanguinary Scripture and the Elohi, just because it just makes them heal back so quick that I mean, there's just ways to make Trolls good, but raw Trolls without items are, to me, just almost a useless unit. They were kind of like what I had Brutes in my old Ratkin army. They just don't hit enough. When they hit, they hurt, but they're not hitting so much or hurting so much that they can just blow away a toughness 6 unit. I mean, they do significant wounds, but give that same unit a 3+ to hit, and all of a sudden every unit in the game has to give them a wide berth because they are so effective. But anyway, like I said, I like that Goblin list. I actually liked it better than the one I played yesterday, just because of the Fleabag Riders. I tend to run more hordes of infantry, just because that's how I like to play. Less shooting, more hordes of infantry, and it really shows in those scenarios where even kill is better because they have to eat through a whole horde, and those hordes don't cost hardly any points. And that's where I mean, that's just a difference in how to play Goblins. I mean, I see the guys with the super shooty list, and I understand how it works. But I really think that the balanced Goblin list, one with a little bit of everything, is way better than just all shooting. As far as the I guess the meta is what everybody calls it. I just like them just a little bit better than the all shooting Goblin list. So anyway, thank you, Polly, for the game. Sorry for yesterday. Polly beat the crap out of me yesterday by winning the way that I lose from Abyssals all the time, which is I don't have enough units to go take quarters and objectives and stuff like that. I have to have them there fighting. Great game, Polly.